paddle ladder on port side, 1 meter. Starboard side, starboard side. Hey, starboard side, starboard side.
It's 7 in the morning and the cruise ship is entering harbour after a night in the Mediterranean. It's billowing fumes as it docks. 2,000 holidaymakers are on board, and we've come to see what's going on below deck. First of all, 2 days' worth of garbage is taken out. There's a lot of it. Yvonne Schulze is the ship's environmental officer. Right now, she needs someone to help her translate. 30 tons of glass, paper and scrap metal have accumulated over the last 48 hours. Yvonne Schulze needs to rely on her partners on dry land when it comes to disposing of the ship's refuse. To be on the safe side, she writes everything down.
I make a lot of notes about how much waste we dispose of, so we have a record. I compare it to the receipt that we get later when we're finished. We don't want anyone ripping us off.
Environmental waste management is a matter of course in Northern Europe, but not in the Mediterranean.
It's difficult. There tends to be a bit of mafia influence in Italian ports.
The last time she was here, she left some copper. Today she wants to be paid for it, but the Italians are not being very helpful. An interpreter is needed. Meanwhile, we're put in our place. We're not allowed to go on land. The only way on and off the ship for passengers and for us is through the gates. That also applies to visitors from headquarters. The company's new environmental officer wants to familiarise herself with everyday life on board the ship. Until recently, she was a marine activist who campaigned against cruise ships. But now she's switched sides. She wants to change the system from within, she says, with the company's blessing. The cruise ship sector has never been more popular. Last year, 20 million holidaymakers worldwide booked a cruise. These days, the aim is to ensure they generate as little waste as possible. Yvonne Schulze explains that out-of-date technology doesn't help, but it's better on newer cruise ships which genuinely want to be greener.
Legislation is getting stricter when it comes to which fuel you can use and where, which waste can be disposed of. We can partially dispose of food, for example, at sea, but the laws are getting tighter and the situation on the ship is adapting in order to comply with them. Management is changing its strategy and technology is changing too. We're about to get an updated ship, which will include technology to deal with waste management.
There's already a wastewater treatment plant. The staff take a reading every day and record the result in a logbook. We're not permitted to film it. It's in the engine room where we're not allowed to enter. But we're assured that the ship only disposes of water that's been purified, far out at sea. The shipping company wants to be transparent, but we're not allowed to film everywhere on board. It's midday. New supplies have arrived, enough for the next 3 days. 10 trucks are being unloaded. Some of them have come from Germany. Finally, the scrap metal deal is about to be closed. The hygiene officer can speak Italian. The language barrier has finally been broken. Environmental solutions make economic sense. The Italians pocket a hefty charge for refuse, about €2,000 per port. Waste is also a valuable resource that can be recycled.
We got €854 for 5 cubic meters of scrap metal. Copper, steel, a mix of pretty much everything.
It's almost 6 o'clock in the evening. It's rush hour in the refuse room. Room service is over for the day and the chefs have finished up too. Everybody's responsible for separating the garbage. Ultimately, it's in everybody's interest. The proceeds from scrap metal are divided up between the team. That certainly makes the task easier. Anything that can't be recycled is fed into the shredder. We'll find out later what happens to it. The cruise ships generally sail at night. Their carbon emissions are high, by their own admission.
Newer ships have potential, and we could expect to see important steps taken in the next few years. Another factor is that from 2015, there will be stricter carbon limits. We saw with the car industry that the introduction of these limits goes hand in hand with the introduction of the technology that allows them to be met.
But until that day arrives, cruise ships will continue to have a serious environmental impact. Meeting the needs of the passengers comes at a cost to the environment. The cost of installing electrostatic precipitators is €500,000. Bedtime is approaching, and the ship has left land far behind. We're permitted to film the incinerator, where the contents of the shredder are burnt to cinders. That way, it takes up less space. The cruise ship sector is keen to better its environmental record, recognizing its failings as a start.